Front-runner Andrew Short in Kawasaki stable, Grant Langston has proven consistency is the way to the top of the point standings. They each have 2 wins and 5 podium finishes in the 8-round 2006 Supercross Lights West Coast Series. Although Ryan Villopoto lassoed his first victory in Dallas last week, the championship battle is between Langston and Short. Can they regain their form from earlier this season? The Supercross Lights West Coast champion will be crowned next on Speed. Mobile AMA Supercross Lights West Coast Series races into the Pacific Northwest with the series' highly coveted title up for grabs. Not only will the championship contenders have to deal with each other, but the track inside Qwest Field in Seattle has been soaked with rain. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside former Supercross Lights champion Denny Stevenson. Well, there's 2 possible factors here tonight that could get in the way of Grant Langston and Andrew Short battling for the championship tonight. The rain and Ryan Villopoto, a winner for the first time last week.
Definitely, Ralph. The mud and the rain is always a huge factor. It can always change things up. Ryan Villopoto, on the other hand, he's coming with a lot of momentum. He's a local boy. He slept in his own bed last night, and he can shake things up. Another thing, he's Grant Langston's teammate. Will team tactics come into play tonight? We'll see.
Well, let's show you the point standings for the Supercross Lights West Coast Series and just how tight this battle is coming in tonight's show. Andrew Short, the Honda rider, with a 4-point margin over Grant Langston on the Kawasaki. Ryan Villopoto, his teammate, back in 3rd, coming off that first win in Texas just a week ago. Just back in 3rd with 21. Now, here's Denny with a look at tonight's racetrack.
Well, we usually see the track and we're going to show a lot of the jumps and stuff, but tonight the big focus is going to be on this first turn. It's already sloppy, a lot of standing water, and it's a tight 90-degree turn into this rhythm section. It's going to be rough, it's going to be rutted, and tonight the track's going to break down. It's going to be the guy who can get through these sections the smoothest and stay on 2 wheels for all 15 laps, Ralph.
All right, Denny, thank you very much. Let's show you tonight's road to the main event. Now, they have shortened the races up a little bit due to the track conditions. There will still be 2 heats. Top 9 will transfer straight to the main, but there'll be 4 laps with 18 riders. Everybody else who doesn't transfer will go to the last chance qualifier. The LCQ tonight will be 3 laps with 15 riders, top 4 advancing to the main, and the main event will be 12 laps instead of its normal 15, but we'll still have 22 riders in the final Supercross Lights West Coast race of the year. Here's tonight's Don Luck starting list. Grant Langston and Ryan Villopoto, the 2 teammates in heat number 1.
Starting things off, the 2 teammates at podium pulled his guys last weekend. Villopoto looking to get things done tonight in the mud in his hometown. Big fan of that kid. He's going to make things happen tonight. I see him getting out front early, and if he can stay on 2 wheels, he's gone.
Well, before we drop the gate, here's the newest member of our Supercross crew, Heather Cox, with the present pre-race report.
After winning his first AMA Supercross Lights title last week in Dallas, Seattle native and rising star Ryan Villopoto is making his first ever appearance here in his hometown as a pro. Villopoto is currently 3rd in the point standing, says he likes his chances here in Seattle, racing in front of friends and family in conditions he is accustomed to. In fact, he says he might just be the only rider that actually has an advantage here in these muddy conditions.
Well, I talked to Heather earlier today, and I said, how'd you celebrate between here and Dallas? She said, just rode, and rode some more.
That's all. He lives on a bike. I got a chance to talk to his dad earlier today, and he says he's ready here. And Grant Langston, I talked to him as well earlier, and he said, I'm like, Grant, what's going to take if he drops the medals this weekend? He goes, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win this title.
Langston will not be the first rider to turn 1. Instead, it's Brent Metcalf who gets the whole shot on the 123.
Metcalf, if you remember, was battling for the win in the mud in San Francisco with Nathan Ramsey. Nearly got the win, almost passed Nathan in the last corner. Brent, fast kid from overseas, known to go well in the mud. Picks up where we left off right now out front in this heat race number 1.
Ryan Villopoto, by the way, is veering back in 11th. Langston sits in 4th. 4th would be a transfer spot. In fact, Langston is creaming up through the inside. He's already up to 3rd, Denny.
Well, out of the gate, Grant Langston went left. Kind of cut off a bunch of guys, including Ryan Villopoto, his teammate. Ryan did not get the jump he needed. Got buried that first turn all the mud. Now he's buried in the back of the pack. Brent Metcalf tries to get through this treacherous whoop section.
much practice today either for these riders.
Once practice session was it, you know, they ran that first session, the rains came in, they canceled the rest of practice. So these guys have not seen the track that much, let alone in muddy conditions like this. Just shows how good these riders are as we see Metcalf out front. That's Eric Sorby to the left. Here's Grant Langston to your right. Now making that move into second.
Langston on the green Kawasaki number 8. Remember, they have shortened the laps here, but they are taking 9 straight from the heats to the main event. As you watch the names scroll across the top of your screen, those in transfer positions will have the green square by their number. Those in red still hoping to avoid trouble to the rider in second place, Sorby, and now he comes to a stop, Danny.
Drops the inside, locks up the motorcycle, kills the bike, but he holds on to that top 3 or 4 position. Metcalf, on the other hand, jumping in the whoop section. These whoops are usually tough as it is. You throw a bunch of slop and mud in between them. They can't even see what's in between the valleys, how deep the ruts are. Having to double the triple section right there. Deep puddles. Right now, the biggest shame these guys is they're the first race of the night, obviously. This track's going to change so much by the time their main event comes. It's going to be night and day different.
Well, while these two are battling up front, Ryan Villopoto is still outside of a transfer spot. Stay with us for more here on Speed from Seattle. Waves here in Seattle. Grant Langston moves himself up into the lead, getting around Metcalf here in the first heat from Seattle. Let's show you how he got it done.
Well, normally these guys would be triple in this section right here, but they doubled and singled into the corner. Langston just took the inside line away from Metcalf. Metcalf realized, you know what, in these muddy conditions, it's just get in the main event is the thing to do. He let Langston get by him. Now Grant's out front, Metcalf in second.
So Langston now will do everything he can just not to make a mistake.
Yeah, Grant is an animal. He's probably one of the most experienced guys in this class. Obviously, former world champion, former national champion. We take a look at Ryan Villopoto. Grant is 4 points down, and Andrew Short coming to this battle, this championship chase. He just wants to get to this heat race, the good solid placing, a good gate pick, because the start is going to be key come main event.
Well, Villopoto has worked himself to about 6, just outside the top 5. Top 9 goes straight to main. So Ryan will do that. Check your flag calls for Langston. He's got to feel really good right now, setting himself up for the night. He's into the main. He'll have a good gate pick, and his teammate looks like he'll join him there. So now it's going to be up to Andrew Short, who will be coming up next in heat number 2 as Villopoto crosses the line in 5th. So not a horrible game for him.
Now Villopoto showed he can come to the pack. Come main event time, it's going to be a shootout between these two teammates.
Here's a look at the top 9 riders that will transfer straight to tonight's main event out of heat number 1. Billy Laninovich will earn himself a straight trip as well. So will Daniel Sani on his Honda. Let's head downstairs where Heather Cox has our winner.
Grant Langston with the win. Now, you didn't have a lot of chance to see the track earlier. Just how challenging were these conditions?
You know, it's because of the way the dirt is, you can kind of cut through the stuff. So it's not as sticky as the dirt we normally see because it's kind of gravel. So it's just kind of sloppy out there, and it was pretty fun. I mean, you know, mud is not always the most fun to ride in, but you know, when we practiced today, it was bone dry, and now we come out there and it's like riding in a soup bowl. So you know, we just had to, you know, kind of make some adjustments and take the track as it came. And fortunately, I got my Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki out a good start and made a couple of passes and pulled up the win. So
congratulations, best of luck in the meet. Ralph?
And a look down the Dunlop starting list for heat number 2. And the other rider we need to see is Andrew Short, but he'll have company with Nathan Ramsey.
Ramsey's proven mud specialist from back in Tennessee. He was a winner in San Francisco. He did battle with Brett Metcalf, who we just saw do a successful heat race number 1. So I would keep an eye on Nathan Ramsey and Mike Alessi as well. Alessi podiumed in the 3rd in San Francisco. Both those KTM guys will be battle now with Andrew Short here in heat race number 2.
Here's Heather with another Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Well, guys, all afternoon it rained, and this is a very muddy track with a lot of puddles. A couple of differences you'll see: a lot of the riders will use hand guards to try and keep those hands clean and dry. They will also have towels on their hips in case they fall, clean off their hands. The other thing to watch for is the races progress tonight. The bikes get heavier and heavier as they cake up with mud. They start at about 220 pounds. They can get as heavy as 300 pounds. So it certainly slows them down to makes them a lot heavier on the jump. Something to watch for, guys.
Jenny, one of the advantages to the dirt here, though, is it's got a lot of gravel in it, which you don't normally like, but it's kind of holding the track together as we take a look at Andrew Short.
Yeah, the track in San Francisco was clay. It got really sticky. You know, they touched down with their boots and it basically almost sucked them off the bike. Nathan Ramsey really excelled in that type of track. This weekend, a little bit more sand packed. Track seemed to be holding up real well. A lot of standing water could be a factor. Alessi way on the outside. there coming in, just cuts everybody off. It was a good choice by Mike. I think Mike chose to kind of get away from the rest of the pack and chose to get way on the outside. Great idea. Rockets out front, grabs a big hole shot with Andrew Short close to third.
Well, Andrew's going to drop back to fourth, now make it fifth, maybe sixth if he's not careful. And we got to give big props to Mike Alessi because he told you and I inside the KTM hall earlier today, he said, guys, I'm going to get a hole shot just for you two. And he delivered.
Yeah, Mike's one of the young up-and-coming guys like Ryan Villopoto. I mean, they're the future of our sport. Mike's been so successful in his career. He's been figuring out the sport of Supercross slowly but surely. Grabbed a big hole shot. He's a light rider. He's on one of those powerful Red Bull KTMs. And now out front, I think he does well in the mud because it reminds him a lot of the outdoors. And that's what he spent a lot of time growing up racing with.
Jenny, how much does the weight of a rider play on a mud track like this? Is a light rider have an advantage over a heavier rider?
Well, I think it always depends on horsepower and the power to weight ratio. And if you're a light rider, you're guaranteed you're probably getting a good start, especially on a powerful bike like Villopoto on the Cowies, Short on the Hondas, Mike on the KTMs. And, you know, I think if you're just able to kind of skim the mud, if you're a heavier guy, you're kind of being bogged down in it. Mike is able to get up on top of this mud, and he's rocking away right now, laying on some fast lap times. And he's got that Canadian rider, that National Arena Cross guy, Darcy Lange, in his pocket. You know Darcy, he's ridden a lot of mud up in Canada.
Again, the race is shortened a little bit today. 4 laps here in the heat as we continue to watch Alessi on that Red Bull KTM number 800. Leading here in heat number 2. He's got Lange right behind him. Top 9 transfer. Those will be the riders with green as they scroll across the top of your screen. Those in red needing to improve. We're looking at a shot at the last chance. Oh, and down goes Lange head first right over the bars.
Now that's what I talked about in heat race number 1. These whoops are already so treacherous, but they're filled with slop, just mud. You can't really see what's in between them. Darcy dropped the front end a little bit, buried it in the mud, and the rear end just came up over the top, and down Darcy goes. He's right now trying to fire up that bike, get back in his heat race, and avoid having to go to that last chance qualifier.
Mike Alessi, he got the whole shot part of this heat race handled. Now he's just a lap or 2 away from locking up the win, while Lange has a lot more mud to clean out of his riding gear. Stay with us. Tonight. Football League tonight is the home of the Supercross Lights West Coast Series Championship finale. Mike Alessi leading here in heat number 2, doing a very good job. Engaging young man, Danny. Very vibrant personality.
Another one of those young riders who lives, breathes, eats motocross, Supercross. That's all Mike does. He's a pleasure to deal with, talk with him in the pits. He's had some controversy in his career, but I think he's on the right track right now, and he's figuring out the sport of Supercross week in, week out. Like I said, this mud, man, it just suits him right now. He's laying on big lap times. He's 11 seconds ahead of Andrew Short, who's currently in second. But the big story right now is Jason Lawrence battling with Andrew Short. Jason Lawrence, another one of those crazy kind of controversial riders. He really hasn't lived up to the hype of Supercross. I think he's a much better outdoor rider. Obviously, he's had better results. And the mud, the ruts, this is perfect outdoor conditions for a young rider like Jason Lawrence.
Jason Lawrence, definitely a fearless rider. I would say, Jenny, at this point that Andrew Short, though, is riding smart, however, in this heat race.
The best thing what Andrew wants to do is get through this heat race, get in the main event where he can do battle with Grant Langston and worry about the points chase.
Checkered flag for Mike Alessi. He promised us the whole shot. He not only did that, but he delivered it with the win. And Lawrence is going to take second, and Andrew Short is going to get third. So they're all headed on to the main event. Now Nathan Ramsey, who was in this one, had some trouble as well. Let's see what happened to Nate on the KTM.
Goes down, drops the front end, goes over the bars, down like that in the mud. Ramsey also went down early in the race. Fortunate for Nathan, he's gonna have to go to that last chance qualifier place you definitely want to avoid when it's muddy.
Here are the top 9 riders that are transferring straight through to the main event out of heat number 2. Alessi and Lawrence and Short. Darcy Lange joining them. And let's head downstairs now to Heather Cox with our winner.
Mike, how much of an advantage is it actually transferring straight to the main and avoiding the LCM in these kind of conditions?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely a plus to get through the heat race, get into the main event quick. And, you know, had a great race out there, had so much fun. It was so much fun just riding in the mud. And I was loving it. Got a great start, got the whole shot, and just rode my own race and let the race come to me, and I won.
Impressive racing. Best of luck against Langston in the main, Ralph.
Thank you, Heather. Now stay right where you are here tonight on Speed, because coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 3 action-packed hours of Supercross racing coming your way live from Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. The Supercross Series season finale and the East-West Shootout coming your way tonight, live right here on Speed. You don't want to miss it if you're a fan of Supercross. Before Vegas, we got to hand out a championship here in Seattle with the West Coast Series coming up after the last chance qualifier.
In 2 weeks, Charlotte welcomes home its biggest stars for NASCAR All-Star.
Oh, with Dave Despain tomorrow live, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. If you're fired up and have an opinion, give Dave a call at 1-866-W-TUNNEL. Let him know what you think about what's going on in the world of racing. Welcome back to Seattle, Washington. Qwest Field, Supercross Lights last chance qualifier getting ready in the gate. And here's a look at your Dunlop starting list for the final shot to transfer to tonight's main event. And Nathan Ramsey, unfortunately, going to have to deal with this, Danny.
Yeah, Ramsey was kind of a favorite coming in here. He was the mud dominant guy in San Francisco a few weeks ago, went down a couple of times, finds himself in his last chance qualifier. Definitely a favorite to get out front here and put in that main event. A couple other riders, Carpenter, and also Justin Keeney on that Villopoto Honda. He was up front in that one of those heat races. One thing about mud, you can be up front 1 second, buried it in the next.
Yeah, and here's Heather, hopefully standing on top of it with another Progressive Direct pre-race report.
This local dirt is actually filled with tons of rocks. What do the rocks do? Well, it makes the track very unpredictable. As the rocks are displaced, the track changes, so the lines are constantly changing, making it much more technical. Something else to watch for, the roofs are actually, when they hit the riders, are filled with not only mud, but also rocks. So these riders are wearing a lot of extra padding tonight to protect themselves from it.
Here's a look at our Supercross Lights last chance qualifier stats, if you will. 3 laps, because Denny, they've shortened everything here tonight. 17 riders, top 4 to fill out the main event here tonight.
Well, last chance qualifier is a place you normally don't want to be in. But now with the mud and the slop of Seattle, it's definitely a place you don't want to be in. But we find Nathan Ramsey, the favorite right here, that could win the whole main event in the last chance qualifier.
Ramsey will not get the whole shot, but he will have the lead by the time they make the turn and start into this rhythm section.
That was number 61, Michael Sleater. We saw jump off the track. He's a California boy, not used to the mud, flew off the track into tough blocks. We saw Justin Keeney on that Villopoto Honda coming way from the outside, grabbing the whole shot and out front for a little bit before Nathan Ramsey passed him, and now I believe that's Paul Carpenter down, going down there in the triple jump section, and he will not make the main event.
He took a heavy crash while Ramsey works his way to the finish line jump and decides not to double it. I'll show you what happened here.
He got the front end high, kind of stuck in the ruts, went up over the front end, went over the bars, kind of put himself in the handlebars, and he is off the track, kind of holding his hand. The end of the last chance qualifier for Paul Carpenter.
Now remember, this is a shortened race, normally 4 laps, just 3 tonight. And again, as you see the names scroll across the top of your screen, those in green hold the transfer spots, those in red do not.
You know, one thing on this last chance qualifier that Nathan Ramsey is getting, I think he's getting a huge advantage. He's being able to see the track in its worst right now. He saw the track earlier in that first heat race when the track was pretty nice. It was kind of packed, wasn't nearly as rutted and sloppy as we see right now. Nathan's getting a chance to see the track, how it's going to be very similar for his main event. Something that I don't think Mike Alessi's going to really realize. Grant Langston, Andrew Short. So if you're going to look for a little bright spot, having to race the last chance qualifier for Nathan Ramsey, the guy in second, Justin Keeney, Eric Nine third, Adam Chatfield in fourth. These guys are getting a chance to see this track in its very worst.
Of course, Adam has that last transfer spot. The white flag is out for our leader. You can see how tricky it is for Ramsey to work the gas and the brake.
He's looking at this rush, it's treacherous, it's mud, it's deep. They're reaching up, grabbing the front end, trying to pull him off the side of the track. Guys are crashing all around the track right now, but Nathan riding smooth, staying smart. That's how he won the San Francisco Supercross in this mud. Smooth, steady, man. You don't go down. It's always true you don't want to be the guy crashing, but in the mud, if you go down, you get your hands covered in mud, you get the levers covered in mud, and you're just suffering from that for the rest of the race. And Nathan right now laying down some quick lap times, consistent lap times. He's figuring out the rhythm section, what he can and can't jump. So I think come main event time, Nathan Ramsey, he's going to be a favorite, just like he was in San Francisco.
But he won't have a very good gate for him. How much of a problem will that be?
Well, usually you get pushed to the outside when you get a bad gate pin. We've seen two great starts from the outside. Mike Alessi got a whole shot from the outside. Justin Keeney just got a whole shot from out there. So if Nathan gets pushed wide, or gets a wide pick, you can come out with a whole shot. You never know.
And Ramsey and Alessi are teammates on the Red Bull KTM team, so maybe they talked about that in between the heats and this last chance qualifier.
Yeah, I think definitely. And as Nathan grabs this win in the last chance qualifier, he's going to go back and tell his teammate Mike Alessi, hey, this track is considerably more treacherous, much ruttier than you guys saw in your heat race.
Could be a good night for KTM as we work our way to the main event. Ramsey takes the win here. Keeney, Chatfield, and Nye should be the four riders. Oh, a couple riders down. Chatfield's across the line. Keeney's across, or waiting for Eric Nye. He crosses. He will take the final transfer to tonight's main event. And there's Ramsey making his way back to the pit area. Short turnaround for him, and he'll be back out, ready to go. Here's a look at the top four riders that have transferred straight on through. KTM, Honda, Suzuki, and Yamaha all get a couple more riders in tonight's main event. Build or bust, Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Do you think you can build a motorcycle? You do it in 30 days. That's the challenge. Build or bust, Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Main event coming up next. What do you think, Denny? Is the racetrack going to hold up enough?
Well, it stopped raining, which means that it's not going to get much sloppier, but it's definitely going to start getting rutted. The rush is going to get deeper. It's going to get a little stickier. The main event's going to be pretty hectic.
Pretty chilly out tonight, too. Probably down in the 40s. Feels more like 30s.
There's a lot of standing water as well, so it's going to be the guy who stays dry and stays warm, get out front, win that main event.
Hope it's warm where you are. The main event is coming up next here on the home of the lights, Speed. May Supercross Lights West Coast Championship comes down to this. We're back at Qwest Field for the main event. Here's a look at the Dunlop start list. And all the championship contenders are in it. Grant Langston, Andrew Short, and even Ryan Villopoto.
Ryan Villopoto, the local rider, we see him right there talking with his mechanic, saying, man, ride loose, be relaxed. You got your family in the stands, block that out. You got a chance to sleep in your own bed last night. Get ready to win this main event.
Here's Heather with a Progressive Direct pre-race report. Heather.
Ralph, tonight Grant Langston trying to do something that's never been done before, trying to become the first rider to win all four major lights events. And he'll have to do it tonight. This is his last chance as he moves up to Supercross next year. But he did tell us today he'll do whatever it takes to make history tonight. Back to you.
All right, Heather, thank you. And we are getting set, Denny. It all comes down to this.
This is going to be a big one right now. Villopoto, we've been talking about this whole night. Got the foam on top of his helmet, you see right there. Kind of keep the mud off, some of the weight. He's looking to get this win, be the spoiler, but he's also Grant Langston's teammate who's looking to make up 4 points, or 5 points on Andrew Short and try and win this title. And I guess your best alloy is having your teammate be one of the favorites like Ryan is right now. So This would be interesting to see if any team tactics come into this main event.
Langston told me earlier today, nice guys don't win championships. He said, I'll do whatever it takes to take this title home with me tonight. Could get physical.
Could get very physical. I think you'd expect a little bit more physicality on a drier track. Right now, I think these guys could be doing battle on the track alone in this mud and all the ruts.
3 laps shorter than normal due to the weather conditions. The 30-second board is up. Brittany George, Miss Supercross, holding it high. Past champions, or past winners here in Seattle include Nathan Ramsey, who's in tonight's race.
Two-time winner Nate Dogg have to go to that last chance qualifier. He's going to be having a poor pick in this main event. He's just to the right of Alessi, just to left that box. He's going to try and get in this first turn and get a whole shot.
The whole shot goes to Alessi for the second time tonight.
He comes from the very outside, comes sweeping in, kind of pins Villopoto. Now his teammate, Nathan Ramsey, almost took over the lead, or took over second for Villopoto. He falls over and pinches Andrew Short to the top box.
So Andrew Short's in big trouble. The championship hopes for Andrew Short could be dashed while Alessi takes off. There you see Nate Ramsey in the middle of that pack. He's getting away.
Andrew Short's already gotten away. He's in 4th place right now, right behind Grant Langston. Out front, though, Alessi, Ryan Villopoto. These are the future of our sport right here. These 2 young men. Both these riders incredibly fast, but look at what they've done on the whoops route. They had a chance to pretty much smooth them out. They got so rutted, they went in with the bulldozer, leveled them out, tried to pick up the pace here of these main events. And right now you see Alessi and Villopoto blasting across the tops of them. But these 2 young superstars are out front, first and second.
And Villopoto, there's a look at Short. Villopoto has closed in on Alessi. That's Langston behind, who sits in the best spot to wrap up. Oh! And over goes Alessi. Alessi goes flying through the air. Villopoto goes into the lead. Langston goes into second. Short is trying to close it quickly. He sits back in 4th now as Metcalf goes by Alessi as well.
Young Alessi gets up quickly, throws his bike in front of another rider. They go down one more time. That was Justin Brayton right there, number 114 on the Motor World Yamaha. And just like that, the mud reaches up and grabs Alessi, just like it did to Villopoto in San Francisco. Now this square plays out. Villopoto's out front. His teammate Grant Langston. Villopoto's looking at the inside, going, go ahead, teammate. You're out front. I'm going to run block in second. And right now, this is the stage is set for this Monster Energy Team Green Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Langston out front, Villopoto in second, Andrew Short's buried 4th. This is Grant Langston championship right now.
It could be a huge night for Grant Langston.
Short's off the track in the whoop section. He is off the track in the tough blocks off camera right now, and his main event is pretty much finished right now. This is it. Andrew Short is all but thrown away this Qwest Lights Championship.
That should just about wrap it up right there for Grant Langston as Villopoto on the 51 continues to circulate around here in Seattle. His teammate out in front and leading.
Pretty much goes to show you that this teammate right now, Brian Villopoto, he might go and set his sights on Grant Langston, maybe try to get the win back. With Short now dropping back to about 8th or 9th. Grant Langston is in control of his own destiny right now. If he can keep this motorcycle on 2 wheels, avoid these ruts, he will be the 2006 West Coast Lights Champion.
And Denny, what a counter it will be to a tremendous Lights career for Grant Langston.
Yeah, you're definitely correct on that, Ralph. Grant Langston's had an insane career right now in the Lights. He's going to go in the Supercross class next year. He's going to be very valuable to one of the Supercross teams, whether it be Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha. We'll soon find out who knows, but he's going for that 4 triple crown, kind of quad crown, I guess you could say.
He won the East Coast Championship. He's won the outdoor title.
And he's a former world champion as well in the class. And Grant Langston definitely putting the cap on it if he can survive these next few laps and win this West Lights title.
Of course, don't forget, Davey Millsaps won the East Coast Championship earlier this year. You saw it right here on speed. And then coming up, Danny, they'll all meet for the first time this season in Las Vegas for the East-West Shootout. And Grant Langston hopes to roll into Sin City as a West Coast champ.
Yep, last season, David Millsaps, he won the whole thing. He carried a lot of momentum in. On the other hand, David Millsaps crashed last weekend in Dallas. He was going to race the Supercross class, went down to practice, kind of tweaked his knee. He'll be rolling into Las Vegas. David Millsaps at Honda with the number 1E. Langston hoping to match that with the number 1W and go head-to-head. Very exciting race next weekend in Vegas.
Were you surprised at Brian Villopoto opening up the inside lane as quickly as he did to allow Langston by like that?
I think he knew that Langston, obviously this is a title. Villopoto had no chance really winning this title. I don't think he necessarily let him by as much as he just kind of opened up the door. But I just don't want to be in front of you, grease some dirt in your face, rain you with mud. Gave a chance to have Grant get free track or open track in front of him. All you got to deal with right now is some of the lappers as he puts Eric Sorby down a lap. And now with Brian Villopoto just going to ride behind him and let Grant do what he's got to do to win this title. I mean, his teammates, it's just like anything else. NASCAR does it. You got a little bit of somebody out there can help you out. Maybe let you by if you need to. And so be it, I say.
Villopoto had an opportunity to go 2 in a row, instead helping out his teammate. Villopoto holds on to second behind Grant Langston. There's Andrew Short all the way back in 10th place, Denny.
Unfortunate circumstance for Andrew Short. Just didn't get a chance to even go head-to-head with Grant. He had a chance there, and he went down big in the whoops. They had plowed the whoops before the main event. Andrew carried a lot of momentum in there, dropped the front end a little bit. One of the ruts just shot off the track. And just like that, his title was hopes are pretty much ended. And unfortunately, Andrew Short's had an incredible career. He's going to go in Vegas with a lot of vengeance, a lot of anger, looking to maybe win that shootout. Kind of prepare for the Outdoor Nationals that are coming up here in just a few weeks.
Well, actually coming into this race too, Denny, Villopoto was in third as we take a look back at our progressive direct hole shot.
Look way to the left right there. Andrew Short's going to come flying in here. He's going to put a knife on Ryan Villopoto. There's Andrew Short. There's Langston. But Darcy Lands goes down the middle of the pack, pushes everybody wide. You
Here's
see
the actual hole shot coming off the corner as it goes to Alessi. He said he was going to be Mr. Hole Shot tonight, and he did it.
Got two of the youngest riders on probably the lightest riders and two of the most powerful motorcycles getting out 1 and 2.
We talked about how the lightweight could be an advantage on a track like tonight. It paid off for Mike Alessi. Grant Langston going after the big check in a championship. Stay with us. Qwest Field as Grant Langston pursues the remaining Lights Championship that he has not wrapped up yet. The West Coast title, and he's well on his way on that number 8 Kawasaki. The West Coast has been very good to this Monster Energy team.
They've done great for himself, Villopoto. They've won the majority of the races, and Grant Langston, he's shown he's the fastest guy. He's laying down the fastest lap time with a 104 right now. He's opened up to almost an 8-second lead on his teammate. The Monster Energy Pro Circuit guys, Mitch Payton and Bones Bacon, they've done their homework. They're out front running 1-2 right now. They're going to break up that Honda string. Honda's had an incredible light season. They won the East Coast. We talked about Millsap. They were hoping to go for the sweep this season with Andrew Short, and just one mistake in the deep ruts and deep mud of Seattle, and just like that opens up the door. Monster Energy Kawasaki going to steal one of those titles away from Honda.
Brent Metcalf on the 123 is on that blue Yamaha. He sits in third right now. And Denny, we were talking about it a little while ago. As we look at the fourth place machine of Jason Lawrence having a great run. He's making a run for third, and he's got it.
Great pass there by Jason Lawrence. Got to the rhythm section a little faster than Metcalf, and he makes the move into third. This would be huge for this young rider. Jason Lawrence is having so many setbacks this season. He's had so many distractors. People saying, man, you're blowing it with your career the way you're kind of messing up and not being successful in Supercross. And I like Jason Lawrence. He adds a lot of color to our sport, and that Rockstar Suzuki, and right now, hoping to end this West Coast season on the podium.
He was one of the riders coming into the year that was so highly touted, and everybody expected so much out of him. Great natural ability with Jason Lawrence, and you just got to figure that eventually then he's going to put it all together.
The talented riders. Supercross is a tough sport, as we figured out with Mike Alessi and Ryan Villopoto. These kids, it takes a little bit to figure out the sport of Supercross, and they've learned from this guy, Grant Langston, one of the most talented lights riders in the history of the world. Looking to put this title under his belt. Guys like Jason Lawrence, Mike Alessi, Villopoto, hoping to fall in his shoes, and next year this West Coast Series is going to be crazy.
Well, right now, Villopoto sits in second, and Short is back in ninth. Coming into this final round, Villopoto was, what, 21 points out of the first place position. I don't think even with Short back in ninth, he can overtake for the points for second.
No, I think pretty much that Villopoto needed to win the race. Short needed to finish outside, almost in the 20s, 21-22, not getting any points, and Villopoto's open to overtake that number 2 spot in the points. But for a rookie, Villopoto ended up third in the points with 1 win under his belt. That's an incredible season for a young 17-year-old rider like Ryan Villopoto.
There's a good look at Ryan on the 51, and of course, as the Whites head to Vegas next week, boy, it's going to be an exciting East-West shootout for them. And look at Lawrence coming back on Metcalf. He takes it for third. Can he make it stick?
Look at these guys. They're basically running side by side and around this entire track using every line they can possibly use. They realize if you're going to fall someone in the mud, there's a good chance if he makes a mistake, you're going to get collected right with him. So Metcalf and Lawrence use as much of the track as they overcome some labyrinths right now. Lawrence getting the advantage. Metcalf's going to have to get around this labyrinth. Set of sights back on Lawrence, but great ride for both these young riders.
Metcalf doing everything he can to reel him back in, but now Lawrence is starting to break away. Meanwhile, Langston with about 2 to go. Came into the night so pumped up, so ready, and he's going to complete the task here if he can just hang on for another lap and a half. You got to believe, Denny, he's going to be one of the most highly sought-after riders during the offseason as these factory teams search for future stars, and Grant Langston certainly looks like he could be one. Do you think he'll transfer his skills smoothly over to the bigger 450?
He's struggled in the past, but I think right now Langston's going to turn things around, and he's going to be like Ivan Tedesco. He's going to be very successful. He's going to be a top 5 Supercross rider next season. The factory's going to be paying him big money as he moves up into bigger bikes, deals with the guys like Carmichael and Stuart Reed. And he'll be replaced by young riders like this and Mike Alessi here in the lights class. So there's never a shortage of talent right now in the sport of Supercross. As one rider moves out of the class, there's young riders to replace him.
Alessi got the whole shot, fell down, and has worked his way back to 5th. Langston's had a smooth night. Came out strong in his heat race. Got straight to the main. Basically did everything he needed to do tonight.
Yeah, him and his mechanic Dan have been working very hard all season long. Last couple years, Grant's got a young boy, little boy, 19 months old. He's got a baby on the way. Stepping into adulthood, and Grant Langston going to do it with the West title. And he's going to end his career in lights. Untouted. The guy's unbelievable. The guys can get things done. He can move on to a Supercross career and make the big bucks. Do battle with guys like Ivan Tedesco, Stuart and Reed.
Working his way through the final lap here at Seattle's Qwest Field. We mentioned it before that Grant Langston has won all the other lights championships. East Coast, Outdoor, World Championship, and now the West Coast title belongs to Grant Langston. He is a 2006 Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Lights West Coast Series champion. And Andrew Short came into the night dreaming of a championship, and it looks like he'll end it, that title quest, with a top 10 finish. He's currently in 9th and 2nd in the points.
Ralph, the back of his jersey, the right side of his gear tells the entire story right there. He's covered in mud. He went down. You can't win a title. You can't win a race when you're 4 points up if you're falling in the mud.
Well, and those numbers match as well. 2 and 9. 9th on the night, 2nd in the championship for Honda's Andrew Short. We'll be back after this to talk to the champ and the winner.
Tuesday night on Speed.
The Seattle Grant Langston wins the night and the championship. His teammate Ryan Villopoto helps round out the top 2. Jason Lawrence with a tremendous night, and Andrew Short actually improved 1 final spot from 9th to 8th as he crossed over the finish line. It's a tough night for Nathan Ramsey. He finishes 22nd. As we head down to the victory podium, one thing you'll notice, Grant Langston's not wearing the jersey the wrong way. That is the right way, backwards when you're number 1.
A very happy guy indeed. In fact, Grant Langston becomes the first to win all 4 major lights titles. Did you have any idea when you started all this that you'd be making history?
You know, I had no idea, and coming in tonight, it was like, I knew I had to win, and I've never really been known as a mud rider, and I was like, man, if there's one night I got to prove everyone wrong, it's tonight, and I got a decent jump, and a couple guys crashed, and my teammate made it easy for me to get around. Ryan was riding great, and it was so great having my teammate behind me, and just really stoked the Monster Energy, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Thor, Parts Unlimited, my family, my team, everyone's just been 100% behind me, and it didn't look good coming in tonight. We're a little bit down, and I was like, when I saw the mud, I was like, well, we all got to ride in it, we've got to deal with it, and just crossed my fingers and went for it, so I'm over the moon. I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Grant Langston is the champion.
That he is, and he'll collect a big bonus, the #1 plate, a big trophy, and a lot of accolades as we head on to Vegas. Here is the final standings on the West. Andrew Short, 10 back in second place. Ryan Villopoto, a great season. Billy Laninovich, Mike Alessi. We'll be talking about a lot of these guys again. Nathan Ramsey was in the midst of the championship. He ends up 7th in the title fight. That's the West standings. Let's show you the East Coast now. Davey Millsap's the winner there by 30 over Chris Gosler. And again, all these riders, Denny, will get together in Vegas, the East-West shootout.
It'll be an amazing race. Millsaps, Gosler, Langston, Villopoto, Short. It's going to be a shootout, and I can't imagine who's going to win that thing.
You're going to see it live right here on Speed. Heather?
Joined now by Ryan Villopoto, the hometown favorite. Ryan, just how much inspiration did you get racing here in front of your friends and family?
Yeah, for sure, especially when I lined up on the gate for the main, and they said my name, and man, everybody went crazy, and you know, that helped out a lot. I kind of got a little nervous, but it didn't really affect me once I got off the gate, and I was on second, and Alessi was right in front of me, and he cartwheeled just a little bit later. You know, I couldn't have done it with all my sponsors, and you know, just everybody at Pro Circuit, my mechanic John, my trainer Randy Lawrence, it's Jeff Rock's Parts Unlimited, you know, Bridgestone, you know, it's everybody. Thanks a lot.
One very grateful guy. Now let's go back to Ralph.
He's going to get a lot more of those cheers in the coming future. Buku Big Air tonight.
There's not a lot of big air when it's muddy, but Grant Langston doubling the triple and doubling his way into the West Coast title.
So the Buku Big Air goes to our champ, Grant Langston. Stay right where you are, because coming up later on tonight, right here on Speed, we're live from Las Vegas. The season finale comes your way, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific from Sin City. You'll see the season finale for the World GP Series, the AMA points, and the East-West shootout.
This is the single biggest race in the last 10 years at least. We got the shootout coming East-West. We don't know who's going to win that, and the points are tied. You can't ask for a better weekend. Las Vegas is going off big time.
It is going to be a wild night of Supercross here on Speed. Make sure you stay with us for the entire show. Denny, we've crowned an East Coast champion, now a West Coast champion for the lights. What do you think as we get ready for the shootout?
I think it's going to be coming down to the underdogs. Villopoto, Josh Grant going out against the champions, Langston, Millsaps. It's going off big.
Coming up next is the Auto Showcase. We hope you've enjoyed the racing from here tonight at Qwest Field. For Heather Cox and Denny Stevenson, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Congratulations to the West Coast champ and winner here in Seattle, Grant Langston. So long, everybody.